Welcome to episode 6, Get Out of Your Shell podcast. I spoke with Ricky Darling. Ricky is a general dentist, studied in California, and licensed to practice in the United States. He has practiced for 33 years, and I wanted to talk to him about his experience. We touch on the importance of vocal health, mercury fillings, and many interesting areas that I found very beneficial. He told me interesting information that, wow, we should already know as many times as we brush our teeth. It's always important to know and educate ourselves in the overall health of our being. Ricky explains what can happen if we don't put attention to our mouth daily. Even though he dedicates much of his time helping patients in their overall health of the mouth, he still dedicates time to swim, windsurf, and enjoys nice music in his free time. I hope you find this information beneficial and understand that oral health and a good diet today will help your mouth and your body tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi, Ricky. How are you?
Oh, hello, Nat. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me
Okay.
today. And at this time, I know we're, I don't know how many miles away, but I really, really appreciate you having the time to talk to me. So let me start by you letting us know your name. Tell us your name and what kind of dental work do you do?
Okay. My name is Rick Darling. I'm general dentist. I studied here in Argentina and then had to move to the States. So I had to study back again in California, so I'm also licensed to practice there. But right now I'm in Buenos Aires.
In Buenos Aires. Awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
So I wanted to have you today with us because I am like a um, very interested in the health of our body, of our mind, and of course, thinking about it, the health of our mouth is also so important to us. And I was thinking about interviewing a dentist because you can enlighten us and tell us things that can happen also, or a disease that can develop through our mouth and a problem that can come later. What do you think about that?
Yeah, actually, in the last years, there has been a lot of studies about the correlation of oral health and the systemic health. So definitely there are a number of conditions that you can develop if you are not careful with your mouth, truly.
Okay, okay. And so, what makes a good dentist? Educate us a little.
What makes a good dentist?
Yes, what makes a good dentist? What do
Okay,
you?
actually, that's a very good question. Actually, well, dentistry pretty much everywhere is a very demanding career, both in the what we call the pre-grad and also the continuous education that you have to commit yourself and discipline yourself to undergo, throughout your pretty much all your professional life. So that is one thing. The other one is developing skills. Many years ago, dentistry was pretty much, kind of a limited profession. But right now, every single specialty um, or discipline within dentistry, is a very developed science. So it used to be that a dentist used to do pretty much everything that a mouth needed
Mhm.
with the knowledge there was back then. Right now, you have within the dental profession, you have endodontics, periodontics, prosthetics, implantology. You have so many areas that is pretty much very hard to cover all of them, in the same level of excellence. So pretty much nowadays you need a kind of like a team, sort of a teamwork. Being a
Okay.
general practitioner, I cover some ground, but I do have colleagues, in the different specialties, where to refer patients when the situation calls for, so that's pretty
I,
much
s-
it.
I see. It's a pretty deep and interesting profession. So, talking about, let's start with the first thing that I've always been curious, but I have not asked about. I heard that dentists use mercury fillings, and it's dangerous. I believe. I think, and having a a mercury filling, will this give us health issues in the future? What do you think about that? And then also, an attached question to that, should they be removed? What do you think?
Okay, yeah, this is kind of like a very good question too. It's kind of like a controversial issue because I will tell you what where I stand with all this. We do not use mercury. I don't know since how many years ago, but we could quit using it. First of all, it's not acceptable anymore, because it's obviously not an aesthetic thing. People nowadays don't want to carry any metals in the mouth, like there was the case with either mercury or gold.
Mhm.
We people tend to ask for those things more and more. As for the question of if it's a good idea to replace them, I don't think so, and I will tell you why. I do know that there is special clinics of alternative medicine that will recommend when you have some sort of some medical condition that they will recommend removing the metals. But usually, what I know is that mercury becomes a little bit more dangerous when you have to remove it and kind of like disintegrate it or
Mm.
drill it out of a tooth, because it's really the inhalation of the
Mm.
mercury that becomes
Problem.
dangerous.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Okay.
can be a problem. And the other thing is, many times when you replace a filling, you do have to remove some tooth along with it, and then the chances that you will need a root canal together
Mm.
with the replacement material, the chances are high. Actually, I have
Yes.
a very good friend of mine. He's an endodontist, and he tells me how many times he ends up doing a root canal because um, just because they have removed a large amalgam, and the cavity became large and deep. So that is something that if it was my mouth and I have an amalgam filling, unless it's visible and very very small, I would just leave it alone. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. So,
Unless the tooth needs it, if it's a
right.
failing restoration, you definitely have to remove it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Pretty interesting. I have two questions based on what you said. So, it's kind of like scary because having metals on the mouth, I have like a little, I got braces, and then they put a little metal inside of my teeth at the bottom of my top. So is it okay for me to have those? Am I gonna have issues in the long run? What do you think?
No, 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 no. Actually, no. The braces are stainless steel. The metal braces that is what they use, and I don't have any news at all that can be a problem. So, no, actually, the orthodontic materials that they use As far as we know, they are completely safe. Also, dental implants, they are made of titanium, and although I know that the ions of titanium end up in the in the lymph nodes of
Okay.
the chest. That's what I know. Up to now, we haven't had any news that they can cause a problem. So, implants are also a way that you carry metals in your body. But as far as we know, it's not a problem. So
Huh. Okay. Okay. So, what are the warnings of gum disease? I know there's a lot of issues with that.
well, gum disease is probably the worst or the number one thing that you should be taking care of or preventing in your mouth.
Okay.
Uh, this is, it has been studied that people who brush less than twice a day have a lot more chances of develop coronary problems, and also diabetes, some sorts of cancer, when you have periodontal disease or gum disease. So
Really?
it's very important. Yeah, actually, nothing can replace home hygiene. You should brush your teeth twice a day, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening before you go to bed, and also have a dental checkup at I would say every 6 months,
Okay.
just to to scale any tartar or calculus that can have uh, you know uh, just live through. Uh, but yeah, gum disease is and decay are the two things you should be fighting in your mouth throughout your life, really. But it's interesting that after probably 35 years, something like that, decay is not that um, the incidence of decay is not that high in the mouth, but the periodontal disease is,
Wow.
so there are three factors that you have to consider. One is to use always a soft brush, never a
Okay.
medium or hard, because that will damage your gums. And the other is to use a mild toothpaste, nothing too aggressive, in order to preserve your enamel. And the third one would be a technique that is not aggressive. You should massage your gums, not scrub them. It's very important. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. You gave me the answer to many questions that were coming after that. I was going to ask you about the softness or hardness. We have the soft, the medium, and the hard toothbrush. I was going to ask you about that, and also about how often should I have a dental exam and cleaning. You also cover that as well. And but let's talk about flossing. Tell me about flossing because I hear, is it good? Is it bad? How
Flossing, yeah.
often? And why do my gums bleed when I floss? What's going on with that? What do you think?
Okay, number one, flossing is, I think, the most important hygiene measure you can take in your mouth. I tell you why, because whatever sticks in between the teeth, a brush will never remove. Um, and is, I would say, even more important than the brushing itself, because you can even maybe help the hygiene with your tongue and a finger, but flossing, is the only way to remove stuff from in between the teeth. And
Right.
in between the teeth is the first place where you're going to be developing calculus or decay. So flossing should be done once a day, daily, ideally
Okay.
before the last brushing in the evening. Okay,
Okay.
so you go to bed with the teeth
Clean.
squeaky clean, and the,
Mm.
the the reason to this is that we have less saliva in the mouth while we sleep. So
Okay.
the teeth are less that they are that saliva contributes to the defense of the mouth with some properties the saliva has, but when you have less, it's very important that the teeth are clean, you know. And when you wake up, before you do anything, you rinse your mouth with warm water and brush, even before breakfast. So
Huh.
you know that's a way to do it. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Going a little bit
And
back.
another thing, excuse me, and another thing is, lately I have been reading that the abusive use of dental or mouthwashes, rinses, can interfere with the natural flora of the tongue, and that is not a very good thing. You know, we have a lot of you know what do you call, like, healthy microbes in the mouth, that if you overwash all that, there are some things that can happen to, you know. So I think that flossing and appropriate brushing should be enough. You know, mouth rinses are probably a good idea for certain situations. You know, we're not going to get into that, but I wouldn't put that in the list of daily hygiene.
Okay. Wow. I was going to ask you also about the mouthwash and you cover that as
Yeah.
well. So going back a little bit about the toothbrush, what do you think about the electric ones? Are they better than the normal toothbrush? Because I think they're a little bit hard. What do you think?
Yeah, me too. Actually, they're not better. Initially, electrical toothbrushes were developed for people, handicapped people who couldn't, you know, move the hand
Oh,
properly, you know, to brush properly brush the teeth. But you know, eventually it got like something, you know, like a novelty, and people started using it. I'm not against it, provided that the bristles are not hard, and it's not an aggressive you know, technique that
yes.
the person would use. I would never switch to an electric brush. You know, I feel more comfortable doing myself conducting the all the you know, the movements that you need to do. You know,
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay to whiten my teeth? Because I know they use all those chemicals and if not, well, we'll see what you say, but if not, how can I keep my teeth whiter?
Okay, yeah. Well, first of all, you know, it's an interesting thing because having the teeth white has been a very clever marketing strategy that they conducted in the United States, and in the rest of the world we laugh at this because they have been selling to the public a completely unnatural shade of white, which is not found in any tooth in
Huh.
any in any living being in the planet. You know, so be careful with that. You know, whitening the teeth is a perfectly accepted therapy if it's called for. The safest way to do it is with the home technique, the home kit that the dentist will provide together with the custom-made splints that you
Okay.
should be wearing for about a week, with a very controlled concentration of the substance, which is carbon peroxide, you know. But that is the way to do it. About the commercial stuff that they sell, you can try it. You know, if it's sold over the counter to the public, it shouldn't be harmful. But the other thing is incorrectly called widening, because what you do is just go a little lighter in the shade you already have in the mouth. It's not that if you have a certain hue in the tooth, it's not going to change to another hue. It's just going to go a little bit lighter. You know,
Mm,
that's what it does really. And the other thing is, you have to consider, if you have many restorations in your teeth, the restorations are not going to be whitening like the teeth are. So if it's going to be left with a mismatch, you should consider if you are going to be happy with the results as well. You know,
okay.
So those things you have to, yeah, think
How,
about.
how about how about using hydrogen peroxide? People use that to whiten their teeth. Is that safe?
No, absolutely not. The if you use a hydrogen peroxide in your mouth for a for a few days, you can develop fungus
Uy,
because the hydrogen peroxide will kill a lot of bacteria and leave the field completely free for the fungus to develop. So no, you should never do that. Hydrogen peroxide is only used as a rinse in only a certain uh, health condition of the gums, which is an acute type of periodontitis, but that should be prescribed by your doctor. You should never do it by
okay. I
yourself.
didn't I didn't know that because a lot of people use it.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for that information.
That's
So
right.
what is the most important thing that I can do for my teeth? You as a dentist, what do you advise?
We can go back to what I told you before. Is nothing will replace the daily hygiene. These three things I told you about using non-aggressive toothpaste and non-aggressive brushing technique. Massaging the gums and all the areas of the tooth and flossing. Um, that is usually what will keep your mouth okay. Also, there are other things, like other issues that can go in your mouth. So probably you should get a checkup every 6 months. That's pretty much it. Get a good dentist. Be a little bit aware of what if you need some comprehensive dental treatment. Be a little bit aware of probably look for second opinions, stuff like that. There's a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of commercial interest in all this profession as well. So that's
Right, right.
that's true. Yeah.
Um, so Ricky, how do you cope with an environment where patients are often afraid and they're afraid of pain? And I know you deal a lot with that, especially men, just kidding. But how do you
Yeah,
cope
it's
with
true.
that?
No, truly, men are usually more apprehensive about dentists than women.
Why is that?
Actually,
Mhm.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not that sure. But I don't know if I can answer of why is that. But in the I don't know. I don't know if in the last several years I have encountered many patients that came with fear to dentist.
Yeah,
Obviously that so even if I have to sit on the chair myself, I probably wouldn't be that happy because it although we do take a lot of care, and nowadays dentistry has been it has never been as safe and painless as it is right now.
yes,
It's still an uncomfortable thing. It's we cannot deny that. So but again, if you can think a little bit about how it was, uh, you know, many years ago, dentistry, I think we're a little bit spoiled on what it is right now,
that is
so
true.
yeah,
Yes. So I have two more questions for you.
yeah.
Why did you choose dentistry as your career? What happened? How did that happen?
Okay, actually, I'm not that sure how that the idea came along. I think I was in the last year of high school and I had to decide what to do. One of my teachers of health subject was a dentist, and I think that rose a little bit the interest, and I started the career, and then I stuck to it. I think I saw I'm gonna go another year and see what happens, and this was 30 years ago, and still I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna go another year and see what happens. So I'm,
Wow.
I'm
And,
still
and
there.
well, I'm so glad you did because you're that in the dentistry area, um,
Yeah.
have helped us and the community and everyone, with our mouth, because it's so important, things that we don't even know. And somebody has to study, somebody has to know, somebody has to give us the information. So I appreciate that. So lastly, what advice can you give us to have healthy teeth? And I think that you already said it. I think the importance of cleaning our teeth every day, right? And
Mhm.
going to the dentist at least once every 6 months and having our exam.
Yeah, that and also to avoid too much sugar. I would stay away from candy, especially if it's kind of like a habit, because obviously you cannot brush too many times a day. You shouldn't brush too many times a day, and also the saliva capability of buffering all that acid attack from the sugars is limited. So if you keep I don't know, a piece of candy or a piece of gum, uh, in your mouth at all times, chances are that you're going to get in trouble. If you go for sugarless, that's fine. There's no problem with that. Actually, I know if you stick, if you get a piece of sugarless gum after a meal, is considered also like a hygiene, another hygiene, measure that you can take to protect your teeth. So
Interesting. Okay.
believe it or not, yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it'll promote the saliva, the squirt of saliva in your mouth. So that is good.
Okay, okay, okay. As a child, I know I used to eat a lot of candy. I still do. I mean, who doesn't like sweets? We all
We
just,
all do,
we,
until you're I would say 12, 13 years old. All you care in the world is to get some candy. That somebody said, and I
that
think
is so, that is so
yeah,
true. Candy is
yeah,
it's true. It makes us happy and it makes us,
yeah,
feel good.
it does.
But
Yeah.
yes, anything else you would like to share with us or add to our conversation, Ricky?
No, just thank you so much, and I hope more and more people get aware a little bit more of what goes on in the mouth. There's a lot more to talk about actually, but
Yeah,
the mouth is really one probably the most mechanical thing we have. We use it all the time, every day, and it's again. I have been translating a few articles lately on the again the relation in between the mouth health with the body's health. So keep your mouth clean, something. And also, there is the mechanical thing, because if you're for some reason you have to lose some pieces, it's a good idea to replace them, and that requires not only the daily care but some investment. But I think it's a good thing. It's possible nowadays to probably end up your life with with your teeth, but requires a very meticulous and careful treatment, throughout, so that is something to consider. Yes.
exactly. Thank you. And
Mhm.
yes, we want to keep our teeth, for many, many years to come. And it's so important. And I think next time that we have another or the second conversation, we can go more deep into other subjects that we didn't touch, because right now we're
Sure.
just touching the basics of what we need to do to avoid, gum disease or the brushing and the flossing. But I think next time that we can have another conversation, we'll go more deep into more and more subjects, more details about the importance of having our mouth clean and other areas that we need to talk about. So thank you so much. And I know we're very, very far away, many thousands of miles in distance. You're in Buenos Aires, I'm in Houston,
Yeah.
Texas. And I really appreciate your time. I know it's very late over there. What, you're 3 hours ahead?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry. Actually,
Thank you.
it gave me time to to set up everything. So thank you, really.
I appreciate you. Thank you.